Mr. Jones and Mr. Krempler were neighbors. They each had $3,000. With his money, Mr. Jones bought himself a $3,000 car. With his money, Mr. Krempler bought himself a new refrigerator, a new range, a new washer, a new dryer, a record player, 2 new television sets, and a brand new Volkswagen. Now Mr. Jones is faced with that age-old problem, keeping up with the Kremplers.
Where were you born?
In a little town called Stornoway, with the island of Lewis, way up in the Hebrides. Way up in the Hebrides. Yeah. Beautiful little island.
And did you live there for most of your life?
Oh yes, I lived there. I grew up there. Came to New York, met my husband.
Yeah.
Went back to Scotland and came back to New York to get married.
Poor Donald can't be with us because he's over in Hollywood, over in Los Angeles,
Donald,
isn't he?
He got a call from Steven Spielberg. Could he come and make a cameo in some movie that Spielberg is doing? And of course Donald didn't want to say no.
Well, we can understand that. It's slightly more important than the BB show, Frank, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell us about your lovely family, Mrs. Trump. And we know that sadly you lost a son recently.
We lost a son. Our oldest son we lost. He was 41. It's something our mother never forgets.
Yet somehow, London's St. Pancras and Belgium's Antwerp Central use nearly identical truss mathematics. Buenos Aires Retiro Station mirrors Parisian ironwork angles. Melbourne's Flinders Street Station aligns with the same geometric proportions used in Berlin and Warsaw. In architecture, coincidence happens. But not this often, not this precisely, not this globally. What we're looking at doesn't resemble a style. It resembles a network. A system with nodes around the world, built to the same frequency, the same proportions, the same unseen logic. Copy-paste architecture in an era that supposedly had no copy-paste function. Nobody asks where the style came from. Nobody asks why it appears fully formed, with no prototypes, no trial versions, no ugly early phase mistakes. It just arrives, fully mature, perfectly scaled, universal, and that's when you start to wonder, maybe these stations weren't designed to impress travelers. Maybe they were built to interface with each other. Pieces of a global machine disguised as public buildings. Now let's go underground. The part of train stations nobody photographs, nobody tours, nobody explains. Beneath almost every major station built before 1900, you find something strange. Water. Not a little. A lot. Huge cisterns, flooded vaults, brick tunnels wide enough for small boats. Channels that don't point toward drains, they point toward pressure chambers. These spaces are far too large to be rainwater runoff. Their engineering is too precise to be accidental flooding, and their layout repeats from city to city like components of a machine. In Paris, under Gare du Nord, tunnels run parallel to the tracks, not to drain them, but to feed them. In Antwerp, a 4-story substructure exists with basins and sluice gates, older looking than the station above. In London, St. Pancras sits atop brick vaults so massive they resemble the basements of ancient bathhouses. Engineers today call this early drainage infrastructure. Convenient. But drainage doesn't require symmetrical chambers, pressure locks, or reinforced floors designed to bear vertical load changes. Hydraulic systems do, and when you stack enough examples together, a picture forms. These were not buildings that happened to sit near rivers. They were buildings that depended on rivers. Stations placed beside canals, lakes, diverted waterways. Every placement intentional, as if water was their primary energy source. Almost like a forgotten rail network wasn't powered from above, but from below. A machine hiding its heart underground. Here's where everything shifts. Train stations weren't just architectural shells, they were active mechanisms built around water and pressure. Think about it. Turntables, the massive rotating platforms that reoriented entire locomotives, were often powered not by steam engines, but by underground hydraulic pistons. Freight lifts, designed to raise cargo the size of a small house, ran on water pressure. Switch points and braking systems used vacuum suction and pressurized reservoirs. And the technology wasn't fringe, it was mainstream. In the 1860s, engineering journals documented hydraulic propulsion, water pressure engines, and atmospheric rail systems. Yet today, none of these appear in textbooks.
When I see all these skies from the old world, when they're not whited out, filled up with airships, it's almost like looking at a different world, like a parallel past of ours, kind of like that Doctor Who episode, where they entered a parallel dimension of London, saw what the modern day would look like with airships, amongst other things.
What the hell?
It's beautiful.
Okay, so it's London with a big international zeppelin festival.
This is not your world.
But if the date is the same...
This is not your world. Not some truth resonates in that line. Perhaps there's more to these resets than just a timeline thing. Perhaps these Mandela effects, these mud floods, these obvious signs of resets, these obvious signs of people remembering things completely different. Perhaps in a way they're all linked. And what we're having is a bleed through of realities, a bleed through of dimensions. Why in this timeline we have a past that misaligns so differently from our current time. Inventions and capabilities and flying machines that seem far different than what we've been taught in school. The thing is, nobody, myself included, knows all the answers. We can only identify the problems, the tampering of our past, the tampering of our time, and put the pieces together from there. We may not find all the answers, but like life, the journey is far grander than the destination sometimes. Question everything, friends. Until next time.